Think about it carefully, and act on it. Knowledge is the beginning of practice, and action is the success of knowledge. As the saying goes, look before you leap. It means that thinking comes first, and action comes after careful consideration. Only in this way can we achieve the best results, and avoid some unnecessary troubles. Look before you leap. Confucius' evaluation of Ji Wen's "look before you leap" is really puzzling. Some people pointed out that Confucius agreed with Ji Wen's approach, and Confucius thought that it was not enough to think twice, while others held the opposite view, pointing out that Confucius was actually opposed to Ji Wen's excessive thinking. Think that as long as, again, that is, as long as you think twice. It's hard to avoid confusion from the literal meaning. However, from Confucius' ideas and his style of traveling around the world to lobby princes to implement benevolent policies, it is not difficult to see that the above second concept is more in line with Confucius' original intention. On the other hand, Wang Yangming thinks like this about the relationship between thought and action. Knowledge is the beginning of practice, and action is the result of knowledge. It is intended to emphasize the unity of knowledge and action. The so-called knowledge is the thinking and understanding of all aspects of the matter, and only when we think clearly and understand clearly can we start to take action. The so-called action is to put those things that we think clearly and understand clearly into practice, so that we can achieve something. Wang Yangming pointed out that the study of saints is the study of body and mind, and its main point is to understand and put it into practice, which should not be regarded as pure knowledge, but only flow between mouth and ear. Think twice and act has become the best advice to impulsive young people, has been highly respected by the world. It is believed that a deliberate decision is the best, and that a deliberate action can be carried out smoothly. Unfortunately, this has given rise to a culture of thinking over action. Perhaps it is too cautious, too foolproof, and people spend a lot of time and energy on unlimited contemplation. As a result, the more they think about it, the more they feel that they are not prepared enough, and the more they think about it, the more they feel that there is a big problem. The idea that could have been tried has become an impossible task and ended in vain. Because people's thinking space is infinitely broad and is not forcibly bound by objective things and abilities, thinking about it will deviate from the right track, thinking farther and farther away, and cannot find the key point. When people swim in the ocean of thought for too long and do not come ashore to put it into practice, the result is undoubtedly suffocated in it, and completely lose the opportunity and ability to put it into practice. In the Tang dynasty, there was a mountain area in the Central Plains that abounded with serpents. Snake gall and snake heart were good medicinal materials. Although the snake venom was intense, and blood sealed the throat, many people risked their lives to catch snakes in order to make money. One day, 3 young men from the south came to a nearby village to catch snakes in the mountains. Young man A lived in the village for 1 day, and the next morning he packed up and went to the mountains to catch snakes, but a few days later, he did not come back. He did not understand the habits of snakes and ran about in the mountains to disturb the serpents, and he did not know how to catch snakes. Finally, he died because of catching snakes. Seeing this, the young man was afraid, and thought twice about whether to catch snakes in the mountains. He stood at the entrance of the village every day, looking in the direction of the mountains, sometimes walking a few miles forward, and soon came back, walking nervously between the village and the mountains all day long. Young man C fully considered how to find snake holes, catch snakes, detoxify and so on, and often sought advice from villagers to master the search for snakes. Hole, draw the snake out of the hole, and other techniques to catch snakes, learn to make detoxification agents. After half a month of preparation, young man C went up the mountain with tools. 7 days later, everyone thought he was dead, but the young man returned to the village with a heavy basket. He caught hundreds of snakes, made a lot of silver tiles, and then started a medicine business, and became a famous king of snakes. 3 young men hunted snakes together. One acted recklessly, the other thought and went back and forth, and the other acted after careful consideration. The different attitudes of the 3 people towards thinking and doing doomed their fate to be completely different. Thinking and action complement each other. No matter which side you prefer, it is difficult to achieve great things. Accidents and coincidences, such as guessing correctly and finding money if you want to get rich, are rare special notes in the music of life, and it is difficult to use it to write achievements in a lifetime. Thinking and action, for a normal person, is a vital thing in life, such as birth, old age, sickness and death, unavoidable. People who are small enough to deal with family chores, to master the lifeblood of the country, act without thinking and think for many times but do not see action. The light is the defeat of the family, the heavy is the ruin of the country. One cannot be partial to thinking and doing. This is the painful lesson accumulated in China's more than 2,000 years of history, and it is also Wang Yangming's point of view of the unity of knowledge and action. Success lies not in difficulty, but in doing it. There are many ways to achieve success, but no matter which one is, even the simplest and most opportunistic way to succeed cannot be realized in fantasy. The reason is simple: the power of thought can only work in action. This is the way to learn. And the same is true of life. If you want to succeed, you must first put your efforts into practice. As a representative of the school of mind, Wang Yangming also emphasizes the importance of action. He believes that people who know a certain truth but do not take action are not people who really understand it. Just like in real life, those who want to enjoy their success do not know the truth that, if you give, you will get something in return. Even if they do not understand the meaning of it, otherwise they will not know it, but not do it. Therefore, when you need something, the premise is that you must act and give. Zhang Pu was a great scholar in the Ming dynasty. He had a very unique method of reading, that is, he deepened his understanding and thought by copying, reading and burning many times, so he was called the 7 burning method, or 7 recording method. Zhang Pu's 7 burning method is divided into 3 steps. The first step is to copy each new article neatly on paper and read it silently while copying it. The second step is to read it aloud after reading aloud. The third step is to immediately throw the copied article into the stove after reading aloud, and then recopy it, read it aloud, and burn it again. This is repeated 7 or 8 times, and an article should be read more than 10 times until it is thoroughly understood and memorized by heart. Zhang Pu practiced over and over again, and unwittingly carved himself into a tool. People often say that we live in a very real world. Reality, is not only reflected in the warmth of human feelings, but also in the power of action. Go. Action is the realistic carry of a person's knowledge, wisdom, ideological realm and other virtual things. People tend to value knowledge is power, wisdom is wealth, but ignore their own actions, ignore the infinite power brought by actions. In fact, as long as you take action, it is half the success. Because action can give full play to the power of knowledge, wisdom, and ideological realm, thus forming a strong driving force, under the premise of the right direction, it can propel actors to success more quickly. Action is the only way to success. Only by taking action can we really grasp the opportunity of success. What talented people fear most is the loss of opportunities and the difficulty of ambition. Waiting is essential to seize that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but action is the most important. The counterwork lies not in the difficulty, but in the who really did it. The world is not short of opportunities, but lacks more hands to seize them. Only by taking the initiative at the wrong time, can we seize the opportunity of success and realize the dream of life.